Okay, so in last 2 days we created API for product, we created API for cart, and we also tested all those APIs on Postman. So everything is working fine. We know how things are working, at least on backend side. We also see these two tables, cart and product. Product has two entries here, and all these products are mapped with this cart table. So in cart table, we are giving the primary key, how many products added in that cart of that product type, and the product ID. So product ID 2, that's this, and how many quantities? 2. That means in general way we can say in cart we have added two gaming phones. Yep, two gaming phones. That's a quantity. So that's how we can read it in a layman terms. Fine. So backend API is done. Here again, I'm repeating. We are just trying to revise whatever we have done so far by using what all of our learning. So we are done. We are done with the Spring Boot APIs. Again, this is not an end. You can enhance the APIs, add some more APIs, and enhance your uh, backend code. Once this is done, so at least let's integrate some of the APIs which we have done on backend to frontend. So frontend for frontend, we are going to use Angular code. Yeah, that's obvious. So just to save our time, I have already executed one command which takes some time, which is creating a new Angular project. So what I just did, I executed this command ng new shopping cart UI. For backend, we created uh, shopping cart API. For front end, it's shopping cart UI. So we know which API is what. So we have executed this command and it gives us the project. Okay, and if you guys noticed in this command prompt, I have asked the service to give me Angular routing. Here I said yes. Would you like to add Angular routing? I said yes. Which style sheet? I preferred CSS, and then it creates all the respective files. Great. So I'll take the screenshot of this command. We'll paste here. Okay, that's our first screen. So project creation is done on Angular side. I haven't loaded this project on VS Code yet, so let's do this together. This is a previous project where we implemented routing. Okay, we'll do that later. So file. Okay, before that, let me copy the path of project, which is this. So copied, going to VS Code, oops, VS Code, then file, new folder, added. This is application. Yep, say select folder. Done. Yes, I trust it. I trust the author. Done. So this application is here. Let's open terminal, new terminal, and let's verify whether we are getting the home page of Angular or not. So ng serve. This is the command which executes the Angular project typically. Okay. And here we'll write local, oops, not localhost 4200, and yeah, I can see the home page is loading. It is compiled successfully and application is up. Great. Okay, so here we are going to create um, two components, for one for product, one for cart, and definitely we are going to add HTTP calls, the API calls. So for them we are going to create services. We have already done all these steps in previous Angular class, so I'm not going to explain much on it. So let me just give you an idea. So we are just going to follow the controllers on backend. So here's the controller. Again, just to make it simpler, I'm keeping it really a basic application, so you guys can easily copy up and enhance it once you have understanding. So one API is this one. Oops, not copied. Next one is card controller, this one. Okay, so to sustain all these power of APIs, we are going to create one component and one service per entity, you can say, because product is all about product entity. We have to focus on product entity. always keep track of your entity name. That's where you will always get your reference. Everything is connected with this. Next one is cart entity. Okay, so the first one takes all that component part. First, I'm not sure, but I'll something we'll call product. Product, let's say list. It's going to be component, and also create product. Oh, come on. Mm, it's already no service, so this is. So first one will be component, and next one will be service, where we actually do the API calls. Onboard, copy it. Same thing will happen here. Instead of product, it will be not cart list, or cart is fine. Yeah, I'll just keep it cart, and this will also cart. Okay, so two things will happen here as well. One for component and one for service. Okay, this is what we are going to follow. So let's create these files first, and then we will put things inside the library. Oops. Uh, okay, fine. So this is clear how many components and how many services we are going to create. So going back to the service, let's stop it by pressing Control C. Control C will stop the service, the execution service. Okay, and we are on UI, so let's go src app. Oops, app. Okay, so src app has all the required files. So let me start running the commands to generate components and service. Okay, so ng generate component. Um, Typically we tend to create folders. Let's try, is it possible here? Otherwise I'll create it manually. Components, then product list, enter. Okay, it happened. So you can see one package is created, which is components. So here I'll keep all the components. Let me run this same command with for cart. It also goes in components, so cart. Fine, let's see. Now we have two directories, one for cart, one for product list. Okay, cool. This is great. Next, let's write this command for service. So ng generate service as for service, and here I'll call services. Again, this treat these as a packages. Slash first is for product, services product. Yep. Okay, I can see one more folder or directory there. Let's create for cart as well. So if I expand services, I can see four files: two for product, two for cart. In component, we got two folders: one for cart, one for product list. Okay, so this is our final structure. We are not going to create any other extra files. We'll write everything within it because we just have two entities, and accordingly we created components and services. Okay, this is also fine. Let's take a screenshot of our directory structure. I think I should keep it the same way like it was earlier. You go here, you go here, paste it, index HTML. Okay, it fits good. Fine, saved. Let me highlight the sections where we have to focus. There goes the component, all the components in this box, and second box contains all the services. There it is. Okay, so we have all things ready. We have a clear understanding how it is, coming up. Fine. Um, Next thing, just okay. Next thing should be once we generate all, okay, not here. Once we generate all these files and files, obviously, so it impacts module file, right? So let's verify whether all these files are there or not. At least import is done correctly or not. So I can say product list component is here, there it is, and cart component is also there. We haven't added any um, module yet, explicitly or manually, but yeah, one module is there which is for app routing module, right? And we know what is the purpose of this file. That's why I did this at the end, so we can easily connect this with our application, or at least we can have one more revision on the routing part. We'll come back to this file again once we add some endpoints. Okay, so before that we need to modify the root component file. Okay, but before that let's pick this file, take a screenshot of this file as well, that what files has been changed. So whenever you open these images basically, so you can always guess, okay, so once we create all these files, that's where it impacts. So let me highlight which file reference has been added. So the product list and component, sorry, cart component, product list and cart component. Okay, done. Okay, done. Fine. This is done. Now let's modify the app component. Everything is coming from there. Oh, not this one, this one. So ng serve ng serve, oops, double e. So let's open the root component file, which is app.component html. Okay, this has lots of HTML. Let's clear this out, and let me just for testing, I said hello, going to web page, reload, and yeah, hello is there. Okay, it is working fine. Now I'm going to add some nav tag. Yep, the same nav we learned earlier. Before that, let's have this inside body. I'll put nav tag. Inside nav tag, I'll just add two router links. I'm about to add router links. So a router, the a for anchor tag. This way is better. And here router, router, then link. In a camel case, then give the name where you want to go. So I'll say slash products. Oh, products, and I'll give the name product. Product is fine. Same, I'll copy paste. This will be cart, and it goes cart. Simple, just two links is enough for us for now. And after nav, we know where is the placeholder. Once we click on these links, where that content should load. So right here, and that comes with router, router, outlet, router outlet tag. Okay, great. Save the file. Let's see the output. Okay, cart, and nothing is happening because we haven't mapped these uh, URL points in our routing module file there. Okay, so time to add this in router file. I hope you guys remember this file. Here we tend to give or fill the array. So it goes in routes there. We have an empty array here. I'll go inside this array and we'll start with the first object, this one. So it needs path, colon, it goes the same way, products. We're not sure what to write. I mean, you can copy the name because we are configuring this first, products, then comma, and which component. Once we click on this hyperlink, where it should go. So it should go to product list component. Okay, first is done, then put a comma, or you can even put this in a one liner. I prefer the other way, so it is more readable for me, but okay, whatever works, have it that way. Let's save some time. Okay. Fine. Next is cart. So cart, and let's modify the component name. Here goes cart component. Oops, double A. and this goes blank. Once you are on blank, right, you don't have any or you want to mention that if you are on root URL, root or home URL, where it should redirect. So again, I'll redirect to the product page. So I'll say redirect to colon. We haven't done this last time, but yeah, time to learn a new thing. Products, and here you can also mention that path should match with full in single quotes. This way. Code formatted, done. So this is when you are on home page and where you want to redirect products. So path match should be full. Okay, so it will load the product file. Let's cross check here, and I can see by default we are on root page. Okay, not root, let's make it root. Still I can see it redirects to the product page, right? It's happening. See, I removed the product and press enter. Yeah, so product list works. When I click on cart, this is working. Okay, I'm not going to add any CSS now. We'll fix it later. For now, let's focus on the functionality, what we are up to. So first thing is working. When I click on products, product is working. When I click on cart, cart is loading. Now time to add some content in the TS files. Or even before that, we need something. Let's check the project. Okay, so we have added successfully the routing part. Now we don't need this file anymore. Close. TS file. I'll see that is it required or not. But yeah, we are done with the where is this one is also done. This is a root page, and the all you know what wise most of the time when we are dealing with the root component, it only deals with this part. What you can see here, it just have the navigations links, so it can go from one page to another page. That's what it do. Okay, so it is done. We can close this. Module file is also done. All the imports are done. We are not going to create any new file. Great. App component, leave it. Okay, so let's focus on the functionality. So component will fill later. Let's fix the, or not fix, let's add the API call first. Like we always start with service, DAO, all that. Then we start working on controller. Same way, we are going to create services first, where actual API call happens, like a main functionality. The main part where a component calls the function and pass all the data. So let's start with product service TS. So you have this product service. First task is create the URL. Okay, and even before that we need to import libraries, right? Or let me show you, if you're not importing right away, how you can do that. Okay, so first thing is, let me add here, add base URL of backend API. Fine. Y is pressing 2 times. Okay, so what's the URL? I can go back to the product APIs. I can take this one. This is the base URL. Okay, so I'll create a variable. I'll say private, so I cannot access this, or nobody can access this outside of this file. API URL. Let's call this base API URL. Double quotes, double equals, single quotes is possible, and then this. And even before that, you can also write http colon slash slash. Okay, http colon slash slash localhost 8080 API v1 products. Okay, this is our base URL. Great. Now, time to add the library which helps us to call APIs, the HTTP library. So, how to instantiate in backend code? We tend to write auto wiring. So, look at this class. This is a cart controller. In cart controller, we are auto wiring cart service, so we can use its functionality. Same way, if I want to add some library in Angular, we are not going to write auto wire or something or inject. Here we tend to say private, then reference name, and finally which library class. So I'll call this HTTP client. Well, usually it won't come up directly, so that's why I was trying to type manually. So import this. Some of the libraries are present in sub library, sub packages. So we have to write it like this way. So from, then this, at Angular common slash HTTP. So that's why it was not coming. HTTP client. And yeah, this is done. Control Shift F. Sorry, Control Shift Alt F. File format. Okay, so we have our base API ready. Base API URL is ready. We have auto-wired HTTP client, so we can call APIs. Okay, great. Now let's call get product first. Why? Because that will list out all the product on our page here. Okay, so let's say I need to create a function. I'll call this get products. Get products, bracket, then colon, and we will import one library which helps or which actually works with HTTP client, observable. It is on root, so it can come up directly. See, it happens. Let me control Z and show you. Observable, control space, and I can see the first one. Just select and enter. It will get imported from RxJS. Again, this is library works with HTTP client. Okay, observable, and mention what type we are expecting in return. So I'm saying any. So this is done, and because it's going to be any of list or array, it's a get products, not product. So we are expecting array of object. Go inside a body, then say return. Come on, return, and then call this dot http. It's a get call, so get. Then need to give the type what we are expecting with get. So same any. I mean we are telling in advance what type we are expecting in response. So get of any type, and inside this body we, because it's a get and API is this. Let me run the backend code as well side by side so we can verify the API is working fine. So cart controller, there it is. So we are talking about this endpoint. We haven't added anything. It runs on default or the root URL, the base URL or default URL. This is the URL. If I hit send, I can see response is coming. So this is the endpoint which helps us to fetch all the products. So same thing is mentioned here. I can call this dot base API URL and done. Yep. Control Shift Alt Shift save, file formatted. So first API is ready to work. Great. So we're done with the first API. I'm not going to add any other API right now. Let's at least test this one so we can see all this data on UI. Okay, UI will take some time. Let's see its TS file. It means a product TS file. So opening its TS now, where we are going to actually use this get products. TS is here. Fine. Now let's start with we are going to create a function which calls function present inside service file. Treat this as a controller, treat the service as a service IMPL in backend. Okay, but before that we have to provide lots of information here. So first thing is constructor, so we can auto-wire things. So constructor default, I mean without any parameter, and it's working. Now let me auto-wire multiple things. First we need to auto-wire for now we are going to focus on product, so just product is enough. Product service private, let's call this product yeah, product service colon, and let's import product service, and I can import it right away. Yeah, online too I can see this is imported src app something something, done. So we just did what, we auto wired it like we did auto wiring on controller. On controller we have auto wired product service, same thing is here. So try to connect everything. Great. So we have done the first step, auto wiring the service file. Fine. Next, so the thing is, the idea is when we load this page, right? So thing should come up here, right, on the screen. This is what we want. So to do that we have to do something on it. As soon as the component is loaded, it should go in database, sorry, not go database, go at backend side, fetch data from database and print on web page. So I need something which will work as soon as the page is loading. So on page load I want to fetch something. So I need to do one thing. This is a class, so I need to implement one interface on init, this one, and it asks us to uh, like give one implementation. Where is that? Yeah, this one. So on init interface contains ng onIt function, which we need to implement. Okay, done. So on ng onIt or inside ng onIt function, we are going to write that service call. So I'll say this dot product service dot get products. I should have started got get all products. Let's say get all product. It will be more clear. Okay. So not products, get all products, done. There we have used observable, so it will observe the things. As soon as it gets returns, I mean it gets data from API, it gives to the component. So here we have to use the counter of observable, that is subscribe. So whatever value or response service file observe, it should get subscribe here. We should always return data. So we are expecting one response. Let's call this variable response, and on the response I'll get this body start, body close, and done. That's how API works. This is a simple syntax we should follow, and because this happens inside this engine on it, I need to fetch the data outside. So to get that, I need to create a variable. So I'll create products. Let's call this anytype array of blank, done. And I will initialize this product here. So whatever response is coming from backend, it should initialize this product. So this dot product equals response. Oops, response, done. And let's also console it. So console dot log this dot product. Uh, let's print this on console to verify whether even this is happening or not. So file saved. Okay, that's how I log in my projects, because there are lots of guys developers are working on a project. So always give your unique console logs so it don't get mixed up with your thing. So I tend to give this kind of arrows. Nobody uses that in as of now. I never saw anyone who is using arrows in my career, so I use this kind of. So you can use your own way to print on console while developing stuffs. Okay, so this is done. Let's verify this is working or not. Okay, not this one, the browser. Inspect console, clear, network clear. Let's reload. Okay, this is cart, console, and I can see I'm getting no provider, HTTP client, something, something, no provider. Oh, what is that? Service is getting issue. Why? Build is successful. Right, build is successful. No error on it. HTTP client from Angular common HTTP. Yeah, this is a library. HTTP client here. It is fine. Why you are giving issue? Uncaught in promise null injector. Dot service, and is pointing to.
Because we added that annotation in the Eclipse, right? Like to connect the API.
Huh, that will give. I was expecting that exception, not this one. That is for course origin.
Yeah.
Annotation is cross origin, and here it we get course issue, CORS course. But this is something else. I know what you're saying, but this is something else. Error, uncaught in promise null injector. Hmm, okay, I'm not sure, but let me try one thing. Usually we don't need that. Maybe because of that. Maybe. Let me try. Usually one library also used. So what you guys can do? Again, it is. I'm just trying. There's one library which works together for HTTP client. And whenever you need any library, we tend to write this command npm install, and the library name is axion, not an s, axios. So this helps us to fetch libraries. I mean API calls. Usually this comes by default. Let me do this explicitly. npm install axios. Okay, let's try this ng serve again. Not sure about it, but I'm just verifying. Maybe this is missing. I know last time we haven't added this and it was working fine. Oops. Entered. Yeah, this is not solving. What goes wrong? Thing is, we are not getting any error or console. Okay, just to, for safer side, let's set cross origin, which we always have. So we are just allowing backend to access the APIs. So let me copy this URL, pasting here. Fine, stop the service, terminate, remove all. Started application, fine. Let's go back. Um, okay, reload. Still same issue. I guess something is wrong off with the project. It's in 304 issues here. Usually they don't come up. Looks like something is wrong with the project, maybe. I don't know, but this got created. Package is not successfully. Even we were getting the default screen, so this should be okay. Let's see why this is coming up. Oh, it's saying no provider for HTTP client. Okay, one more check, then we will Google it. Okay, so whenever you add in library, it goes under and node modules. Okay, so if we scroll to HTTP, I can see multiple libraries here. HTTP, proxy, parser, proxy agent. All things are here. Okay, let's quickly search on web because we are getting this at real time. It was not planned. This is something. Let's figure it out by using Google. There should be some common issue or uh, message. Okay. Oh, obviously. What I can see here, one thing we haven't added, that HTTP client, the module on. As soon as I saw this line, let me show you what I just saw. This one. We haven't done this on our module file. This is what we missed. This should be the issue. Okay. Let's verify src app module. So we needed that library as well. So let me copy this line, paste it, and we need to come on, go down. So this is a module, so it should go inside imports and HTTP client. I don't think it is required. Yeah, but let's see. They are even using it. Yeah, I don't think it is required. Yeah, this is not required. This is used for service layers, not in module file. Okay, we have added HTTP client module. Let's try this out. ng serve. Let's see again. Module. It should work. Let's see. Okay, it is working. Loading, I mean. Okay, loaded. And yep, it's working. See it. Okay, this should be here. I missed it. Sorry about that. So whenever you add in a library, it should be here as well. Imported in the module. Only then application allows to use that library. Okay, I forgot. Fixed, and I can see API is working fine. Let me clear this console. Network tab. I'm on cart. Cart is clear. Nothing on console. As soon as I click on products, the page loads, and it loads. I mean, it triggers the API, and I can see data is coming. That is good for us. Okay, nice. So let's print this data on HTML page. Okay, so this even gives us a good real-time practice that if something goes wrong, how we can fix it. And yeah, it needs practice, a lot of practice to write the code. Okay, so TS file is done. TS file is fetching the required details and it is happening with the API. Let's write some code on HTML file. HTML is empty right now. So again, I'll keep it simple. Just keep some simple divs. Later we will add CSS, but for now, again, just focusing on console, the what do you call that functionality. So div tag, the very first tag here I will use a simple container. Later it will be used by CSS. Just keep it practice whenever you are about to create any HTML file. Always create this container. This is used by Bootstrap CSS Bootstrap class. Okay, then let's add some h1 tag. Let's call this um, capital P product list. Then div tag to process all the elements we saw so far on console. Time to print them here, and we will use the for loop. The directives we learned. We also created our own directive. Time to learn some one directive inbuilt library. ng for equals, I hope you guys remember the syntax. It starts with let, then give your any reference name, any variable name, then of the variable which holds data. So right now this is the variable products which is holding data. So I'll keep it here. What just happened? Yeah, I think I copied something else. Copied, paste it. Okay, products. And this is done. Then after here, um, let's set some S3 tag to highlight the product name. So it goes in interpolation. Done. Product dot name. This is this product, and we are fetching name. What is name here? Let me show you on console. It's this one. ID, name, price, description, all these things. Okay, done. Then rest of things we can print on p tag, so it will look more simple, not that bold. Okay, next is product dot description, and one more p tag for the price. So product dot price. And okay, let's print this much first on our web page, then move forward. And yeah, I can see list is coming. Not that great, but yeah, I can see my data is coming up. Nice. So API is working fine. As soon as I load page, see on cart it's nothing, but as soon as I go back to products, I can see list of products. Okay, let's try if I can use any pipe operator. Currency. And yeah, I can see dollar is added. Earlier dollar was missing. Let me show you again. Removed, file saved, dollar is missing. Control Z, saved, and dollar. Okay, so by default, when we say currency, by default it adds dollar sign in front of your whatever amount you have. Okay, we can also add one text in front of it that this is a price. Okay, done. Again, we'll fix this later. I mean, in terms of how it comes up, but yeah, API is working great. Okay, next is what? For now, I'm going to add one button, but we will write its functionality maybe later. But for now, let's add this button in same for loop. I'm inside the same div tag, and here I'll add one button. This button will help us further to add this product in cart. Just imagine this is something which is coming on your screen, and you want to add this product on your cart. So when I click on cart, I should see that product here. This idea. So I'll add that button here. But again, we'll write this functionality later. Click. That's the event. Click should happen on that button, and if this happens, the click event happens. So I'll say add to cart. That's my function name, and here I'll pass that product which is coming from for loop, and here I'll say add to cart. Okay, done. Let's see how it looks like. Oh, yeah, because we don't have this function yet. So going back to TS, I'll keep it empty for now, but definitely print which product is clicked. Okay, so here I know add to cart needs some product, so I'll give any name product. Let's say any. Uh, 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 uh. No, what I'm doing. It needs to be there, which fetches. Okay, product is fine. I can take it any. That's fine. And for now, just console dot log and just say product. That's it, semicolon. Again, semicolon is quite optional, but I tend to give it semicolon. Okay, there it is, and yeah, error is gone. I can see the button, clear network tab, console. Let's see, add to cart. When I click on this gaming laptop, I can see object is printed and it has all the gaming laptop description. Great, clear. Let's see on phone, add to cart, and here I can see the object is coming here, which has all phone details. Nice. So ideally, when I click on add cart, this item should move to cart, and I can see here, which is not coming because we haven't added anything on cart class yet. Okay, so let's build something on cart as well. Um, yeah, so when we click on cart, so it should load some record. Okay, so we don't have that functionality yet, so let's build some functionality on cart. So we're done with we are done with product at least, so it can load data. Great. Okay, I think we should okay leave it there. Now time to write something on cart service. We need some API on cart as well. Okay, now going to cart service there. So same thing is here. I need to add two libraries which I can take from here. HTTP client and observable. Done. So imported both libraries. We are going to use them. Next, it has base URL. So here, constructor call and this. So I'll copy all three things. I hope it is fine. Let me know if you are not okay and I can type. And at any point, you guys can ask me to stop and write the code. So you guys take things slowly in terms of understanding. Okay, and let's cart is here. Yeah, this is the base URL for cart. So let's change it to cards. Okay, back API. It's backend API. Um, backend API. Okay, so on cart we have uh, base URL cards. Constructor is done, and now instead of saying get all item or get all products, I'll say get cart items. Cart items. Okay, observable this, and yeah, that's it. It remains same. See, so you have to copy paste but smartly do it so you know where to do the change. So I did only one change here, the API what do you call base URL API and the method name, everything remains same because it has to call the root URL. Okay, so service file is done. Again, I'm not doing any addition, just focusing on get. Fine, so this is done. Let's write some code on TS file, the cart TS. Okay, in cart TS, um, again I'll just do that ng on it part, not any other functionality. So let me type code here. So things will be slow. So first thing is we need a constructor, and again what I'm expecting when I switch to cart, it should load all the items which are present in cart that way. Okay, so first thing is let's implement on it interface there and implement this function. Done. Let's stop the service. Okay, code format, and we also needed a constructor so we can kind of whatever other things which is required. One thing is the service we have just created, it should be here. So let's inject that. So private cart service colon cart service. Done. So we have this library formatted. Done. We don't need this error. Okay. Now on ng on it, I'll say this dot cart service dot get all cart items. Great. We don't need to pass any argument, so it remains empty. Then I'll say there it is. It was observable on API call. I should say subscribe. Then this here I'm expecting a response. Again, you can name it anything. Intentionally call this response so we can know, okay, this is actually a response coming from backend. Create a arrow sign, then arrow sorry, brackets open and close, and done. Here, first of all, let's verify whether we are getting anything or not. Console.log, and let's print response right away without doing anything. Okay, file saved. Let's run the service. Now we can run the service after create did some changes. I don't think later we need to change any stop the service. It is fine if it is running. Okay, we're getting some red lines. Let's see what is that. The product is fine. Let's click on cart. Cart is not working. I think something is wrong. Oh, sorry, I don't have. But yeah, I do have one engine on it here. It should work. Um, it should have worked. It is an engine on it, right? Yeah. Um, mm, mm, mm. Export cart component. Are we getting any error here? This is also clear. Select. Oh, sorry, yeah, same issue. That course I forgot. It should be added on both controller. So copy it on cart controller. It is not here. Now add it. So cross origins. Origin is localhost 4200. So stop the service. That error came later. That got me confused. Why it is not giving any error? Okay, done. Let's restart the service of backend. With now both controller has this cross origin. Okay. See guys, there are multiple ways to add this. I'm writing the whole what do you call that, whole endpoint of front end. You can also put asterisk sign, or we can also pass multiple parameters. So just to you guys can focus on the concept. I'm not adding other fields. Otherwise, you can put a comma and pass other things like what headers are allowed, what's the max age when this request get pass out, what kind of methods, whether we should allow only get request or post request. The origin pattern you can also give the value. Lots of things are there to have a fine-grained control over your which is requesting, who is requesting that way. But yeah, for now we are focusing that we are just allowing front end to access this controller. Later you can find filter out as per requirements. Okay, reload. Cart is still giving error. What happened to you? Cart still giving error. Local hostility giving the errors. Let's see the console what it's saying. Header is fine. So how we read it? Cart says course error. That's right. Header is fine. Localhost HTTP. Let's copy this URL and run on browser. Yeah, I can see I'm getting response. So browser is fine unless I'm calling this from um, front end. What happened? Changes are not reflecting, I guess. So let's stop the service and try again. It is not picking the changes. Shopping cart I'm running, right? Yep. Okay, service is up. Let's run this code again. What happened to you? Oh. This is calling this one response. Let's check the service again. Oh, this should be the issue. Okay, we got the issue. I forgot to add HTTP colon this one, so it was not understanding what's the URL. So we should always have this uh, header in the starting of a URL. Okay, and let's run this product. So we're getting product list here. When I click on cart, I can see an array of object which contains one object which has all product details, its quantity and ID. There it is, ID, quantity and product, and what product it has, gaming phone. Okay, so it is also working great. So we are able to call cart API as well. Let's create a simple UI for cart HTML. So again, I'll keep it simple, ultra simple, so you can understand what's happening. So start with div, and as I said, whenever you start with div, always have this class container. This is a bootstrap class, like we have lots of classes. Bootstrap is a library of CSS which uses this class. It's the same class we talked about, ID class, same class, which has some inbuilt features, which is not yet present, but it will come up when we add some more CSS to support all this container. I'll say shopping cart. That's our header. Let's say div. This div will be used for running a for loop. So asterisk ng for ng for double quotes. Let's say at let's say item of cart items. Let's say camel case. Okay, I don't have that in TS file because I was just printing it. So let's create in TS. It will be created the same way like we did earlier. So cart items colon any array equals to any, not any array. And let's initialize this cart items equals response. Saved, and then we will run a simple tag which says item or whatever product name you have. So interpolation item dot. Now how to fetch it? Item is just a reference of object, but it is not present directly. We need to fetch first of all item, then whatever it has, the product VO, and then its name, the name. So product VO is the next object. So product VO dot name. Let's see this much is coming or not. Yep, I can see phone is coming. It is coming from that response. Okay, let's add again same way. Let's just a price and quantity. So user know what's the price of that item. So same way, item dot phone view dot price. Oops. This is about item, and one thing is quantity. How much quantity you are adding in cart. So quantity colon. This comes directly item dot. Let me show you again. Expand first object. It has quantity object. So I'll copy this quantity and paste right here. Okay, let's see how it looks like. There it is. We can also add currency here as a pipe operator, so it looks better. Currency, and I can add price. Obviously it is self-understood, but yeah, price is 1000, quantity is 2. Okay, great. So when I switch to products, let's close the console. So when I switch to products, I can see list of products. Again, we don't have any good looking UI, but yeah, we're just adding the functionality. When I switch to cart, I can see item. These are already present in database. It is right here, that's why they're coming up. So product has two objects, so there they are. Cart has one item, there it is. It is phone, it is phone. Let me just change the item from phone to something else. I'm just manually changing it. That's it, some random text to show you that yeah, it's impact, it has impact there. Apply, finish. Okay, going to load product first, and I can see the name got changed. Let me see on cart. When I click on cart, Yep, it is got changed. So yeah, that is coming from database, just to verify you. Okay, so I'm not going beyond of it. At least try this much. Oops. At least try this much. Try to attach these APIs at least, and then we will see what's next and how we can add some more functionality on it, like add to cart and some functionality here. Let's suppose user don't want to add this product and accidentally clicked on button, so I should have a remove button. So I should say remove or delete. It should get deleted from here, and then we can again go back to product and add some things here. So right now we don't have that form which adds product, so maybe we can create some nav bar which says add product. So we'll get a form there, click sub entry of product, and that product item get here, and from here I can say add to cart, and I can observe that entry here. So lots of things are possible here. Just it depends upon your imagination how far you can extend it. But yeah, I'm stopping here. So at least do this much, and let's meet tomorrow for the same task, and we'll enhance the UI, and we'll also definitely add some more CSS so this will look better.